Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai Vishubhadar Brahmhamsa Parivajikacharya Asatarashita Shishimati His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki. Grantaraj Shrimadbhagavatam ki. Samavekta Bhaktavinda ki. All glories to Assembly. All glories to Assembly. All glories to Assembly. All glories to Shri Guru and Guru. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So welcome to ISKCON Detroit morning Shrimadbhagavatam class. Today we are reading from Canto 1, chapter 13, and it will be text 49. And before we get started, let's just recite a small prayer before reading Shrimadbhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayam Namaskrityam. Narayam Namaskrityam. Naram Cheva Narottamam. Naram Cheva Narottamam. Devim Sarasatim Vyasam. Tato Jai Udirye. Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke. Bhaktir Bhaviti Neshtaki. Hare Krishna. So again, Shrimadbhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 13, which is Dhritarashtra quits home, and it's going to be text 49. Soyam Adya Maharaja. Bhagavan Bhuta Bhavanaha. Kalarupo Vitirno Shyam. Abhavya Suradvisam. Soyam Adya Maharaja. Bhagavan Bhuta Bhavanaha. Kalarupo Vitirno Shyam. Abhavaya Suradvisam. Soyam Adya Maharaja. Bhagavan Bhuta Bhavanaha. Kalarupo Vitirno Shyam. Abhavaya Suradvisam. Anyone like to repeat?
Soyam Adya Maharaja.
Soyam Adya Maharaja.
Bhagavan Bhuta Bhavana.
Bhagavan Bhuta Bhavana.
Kalarupo Vatirno Shyam.
Kalarupo Vitirno Shyam.
Abhavaya Suradvisham.
Abhavaya Suradvisam. Soyam Adya Maharaja. Bhagavan Bhuta Bhavana. Kalarupo Vitirno Shyam. Abhavaya Suradvisam.
Soyam Adya Maharaja.
Soyam Adya Maharaja.
Bhagavan Bhuta Bhavana.
Bhagavan Bhuta Bhavana.
Kalarupo Vatirno Yasam.
Kalarupo Vitirno Shyam.
Abhavaya Surya Dirvisam.
Abhavaya Suradvisam. Sa, the Supreme Lord.
Supreme Lord.
Ayam,
Ayam.
the Lord Shri Kṛṣṇa.
The Lord Shri Kṛṣṇa.
Adya,
Adya.
at present.
At present.
Maharaja,
Maharaja.
O King.
O King.
Bhagavan,
Bhagavan.
the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
The Supreme Personality of God.
Bhuta Bhavanaha,
Bhuta
the
Bhavana.
Creator or the Father of everything created.
The Creator or the Father of everything created.
Kalarupa,
Kalarupa.
in the disguise of all devouring time.
In the disguise of all devouring time.
Avatirna,
Avatirna.
descended. Assam,
upon the world,
Abhavaya, for eliminating, Suradusam, those who are against the will of the Lord. So translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, in the guise of all-devouring time, Kāla Rupa, has now descended on earth to eliminate the envious from the world. If everyone would like to repeat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead.
That Supreme Personality of Godhead,
Lord Shri Krishna,
in
the guise of all-devouring time, Kāla Rupa, has now descended on earth to eliminate the envious from the world. Purport. There are two classes of human beings, namely the envious and the obedient. Since the Supreme Lord is one and the Father of all living beings, the envious living beings are also His sons, but they are known as the Asuras. But the living beings who are obedient to the Supreme Father are called Devatas, or demigods, because they are not contaminated by the material conception of life. Not only are the Asuras envious of the Lord in even denying the existence of the Lord, but they are also envious of all other living beings. The predominance of Asuras in the world is occasionally rectified by the Lord when He eliminates them from the world and establishes a rule of Devatas like the Pandavas. His designation as Kāla in disguise is significant. He is not at all dangerous, but he is the transcendental form of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. For the devotees, His actual form is disclosed, and for the non-devotees, He appears like Kāla Rupa, which is casual form. This casual form of the Lord is not at all pleasing to the Asuras, and therefore they think of the Lord as formless in order to feel secure that they will not be vanquished by the Lord. Jai. Translation one more time. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, or that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, in the guise of all-devouring time, Kāla Rupa, has now descended on earth to eliminate the envious from the world. Om Namo Vishvadaya Krishna. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajiva Sarvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Rita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustuti Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavani Vashata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 So welcome. So again, Canto 1, Chapter 13, Text 49. That Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, in the guise of all devouring time, Kāla, is now descended on earth to eliminate the envious from the world. Jai. So, there's been discussion, and now so today I wanted to discuss a little bit about Kāla, or time, and this asuric mentality, this envious mentality a little bit. So we know in this particular chapter, Dhritarashtra has now left home. He was instructed very strongly by Vidura. He leaves to prepare for death. Outwardly, this may look very simple, but actually this has very deep philosophical instructions, this whole chapter, right? And so many, many different topics have been brought up, and now we're going to talk about Kāla, time, and this danger of this envious mentality, this asuric mentality. So, Kāla is not different than Krishna. Krishna is time, time is Krishna, it's one of his energies. The supreme controller is Lord Krishna, right? And he is the supreme controller of this material world. So let us understand a little bit more about this time. Yes, being energy of Krishna, time is not independent, right? Because it is controlled not by us, but by Krishna, right? He is the source of this time. And in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 11 and 32, verse 32, Krishna says, time I am, the greatest destroyer of the world, right? So Kāla is Krishna himself, but he's acting to create, maintain, and destroy, right? If we think about time, things are created, maintained, and then they are destroyed. And especially to destroy this illusion, right? Krishna is there to destroy this illusion. So no one can escape Kāla, this time factor. You can be President Trump, you can be a great king, you can be any one of these powerful leaders or wealthy person, or it doesn't matter how much money you have in this world, even the demigods, right? They're not going to be able to escape this time factor. So everyone submits to it. Dhritarashtra tried to resist this time factor, right? He tried to maintain his position, his family, his home, his kingdom. But over the course of time, in the form of even the Kurukshetra war, everything was destroyed, right? And still he's tried so hard to, take hold of it and stuff and not let it go. He didn't want to wake up to reality, right? So, and that is the power of this illusion, right? So time, we've talked about it several times before too, and stuff, but this is the position, right? Some people will wake up to reality and some people won't. Now, this asuric mentality, this very envious mentality. So why did Dhritarashtra not understand that it was time, right? Because he had this asuric mentality, to deny reality, basically. So in Bhagavad Gita, also in chapter 16, so Bhagavad Gita and Shrimadbhagavatam very nicely go together, right? Bhagavad Gita is our almost law book, the book of how to live this life. And Shrimadbhagavatam are the stories that explain the examples of how to live this life. So both of them correlate very nicely together. So when we talk about one, it's very easy to talk about the other. So in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, Krishna is describing the nature of the asuras, right? The demoniac and the divine. So those who are opposed to this divine understanding are the asuras. So in general, we have to think about these things. So if you're opposed to learning about anything about divine or taking this understanding or improving of the consciousness or wanting to understand what the truth is, what reality is. That's kind of a Asura mentality, right? So an Asura may think, so much wealth I have today, I'm the Lord, I'm perfect, right? But this is exactly like the Dhritarashtra's mentality, in the sense that, this is my kingdom. These are my sons. I must protect them at all costs, right? Not understanding that he's being pushed through time. Whether he likes it or not, whether he wants to wake up to reality or not, he's being pushed, right? This is the energy of the all-supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So this denial of reality, even when he faced so much destruction, he still denied this reality. So when we look at time, when we look at this mentality, this Asuric mentality, we can try to combine these two now. So Asuras, as we see the Dhritarashtra, try to defy time, right? Many people in this world, they spend time, energy, money, so much stuff that, I will live forever, right? Building technologies to try to freeze themselves so that they can be woken up in the future, right? All kinds of crazy things. So they feel like they can control everything, right? But again, this time is pushing that. They want to enjoy endlessly, right? So searching so much, spending energy, time, effort, all this stuff just to enjoy constantly. But as we see in this purport, right, the eternity, knowledge, and bliss, right? Shat Chit Ananda. This is all in Krishna, right? So this individual or this Asura, right, thinks that that they can obtain all of this, Satchitananda, right? But Kāla, this time, is going to prove him wrong again and again and again. And we know in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in 1034 that I am all devouring death, right? So they can continue, try and stuff, but what's 100% true? This death rate, right? Every country has 100% death rate, right? That's the ongoing lesson, I feel, like in this particular verse and chapter. Now, this is Asuras. But the devotee, right? What does devotee think of time? What is a devotee's? A devotee, when he thinks of time, it could be just a reminder, right? It could be a teacher. It can actually be something that we can look forward as a liberator in our life. So let's see the difference in this consciousness of the Asuras and someone who's a devotee or the divine. So time is the same for everyone, right? A devotee is also being pushed through time, just as an Asura is being pushed through time, right? But like, for example, this was a nice example I heard in a lecture. So there's a father, we all have Halloween or, many times, right? Like a father, he can dress up as a monster, right? Like a scary monster in a costume. Now, if the child doesn't know that this is his father, comes out in this like scary monster costume, right? Like the child could be like so scared, right? They could be like scared to death of like seeing this particular monster. Now, if a child knows that this is my father dressed up as a monster, right, in this particular costume, then when the father comes to scare the child, right, what's his mentality? Right? Is he fully scared? He's gonna laugh, right? He may enjoy it. He may like crack up. He might even go give the monster a hug, right? Oh, Dad, right? And stuff like that. So this is the consciousness, right? When someone doesn't accept the reality of this time factor, it becomes very scary. Death becomes very frightening. But when someone understands that my father is the one controlling this time, right? He's sending me reminders. He's teaching me. He's the one who can liberate me, right? Then this consciousness, this knowledge, we understand that Kāla, or time, is just another beautiful energy of the Lord, right? And we become not afraid of death, right? So this is kind of the process of learning and understanding this time factor, right? So depending on the consciousness, you can have different understandings of this particular time factor. And Dhritarashtra is our greatest case study. It's a wonderful case study within this Bhagavatam, right? And stuff like that. So Dhritarashtra, having this Asuric mentality, he also had the association, the direct association of saintly persons, right? Kṛṣṇa was part of his family, right? Structure. He had instructions from Vidura. And so he had so many great sages and so forth, you know, the association of them and stuff. Still, he chose attachment. And why was this? Because of this Asuric mentality that he had, this consciousness that he had. And it wasn't a lack of knowledge for him either, right? But it was his refusal to accept the truth. So knowledge and truth, two things. You can get the knowledge, but if you're not willing to accept the truth, that's another level, right? So we see that Dhritarashtra, he had all of these things, right? In his association, all of this knowledge, all of this in his presence, but he wasn't willing to accept the truth. This is also part of Asuric mentality. So, and this is also very important today because everyone has access to Bhagavad Gita, right? Everyone has access to Shrimadbhagavatam. Everyone now has access to spiritual teachers, to spiritual masters and so forth, to Srila Prabhupada. The internet gives you access instantly, 24 hours a day, right? So there's no excuse. Now, all these items are here to prepare us, right? To change our consciousness from Asuric consciousness to spiritual consciousness, to Kṛṣṇa consciousness. But are they willing to accept the truth, right? So still, there are individuals that are rejecting, right? And this is the Asura mentality. This is the envious. This is the Asura bhav, right? So again, it's pretty black and white. Which side do you want to be on, right? When you wake up in the morning, which way do you want to go? And stuff. So, you know, fortunately, Dhritarashtra had Vidur, you know, to kind of slap him around, give him very hard instructions, you know, to destroy this illusion that Dhritarashtra had. You know, and this is, again, people come into our lives and it's the mercy of the Lord, right? So we have to be able to recognize, to accept, to really take to this truth, you know? People will be coming into our lives in and out and stuff, but whether we want to accept it or not, that is, again, our decision, but time is going to continue on and keep pushing us, whether we want to believe it or not. So, and we see Vidur, I mean, he was like so super strong, right? And stuff. I still, you know, telling Dhritarashtra, you know, you're living like a dog in someone else's house. I mean, that's pretty strong, you know. But he had to be that harsh because some people accept it, some people don't. So some people can get it on the first chance, some people don't. But Srimad Bhagavatam and time will continuously push us so that we get this access to spiritual light, right? And stuff. And strong medicine. Some people need strong medicine, right? And that's what the spirituality will give us. Srila Prabhupada constantly has told us, you know, you are not this body, your spirit, soul. Now, yes, we have the knowledge, but do we understand the truth of that? You know, by our actions, mind, and words and stuff. Material life is constantly, there's struggles, right? Birth, old age, death, and disease. All these things are there and stuff. But are we truly understanding the medicine that this is giving us to free ourselves, to liberate ourselves from these particular birth, old age, death, and disease? Are we using our time to the best of our abilities? how much are we wasting our time? And stuff. So, you know, everyone has 24 hours days, whether you're Asuric or whether you're divine. You know, how is this 24 hours being used? And it's not to criticize anyone, but from a compassionate level, you know, we're trying to give people the knowledge, the understanding, to have them accept the truth. You know, that this 100% death rate is there, time is going to push you towards it, but what are you doing in the meantime?
Right.
Right. So this is the turning point, right? Accepting this time factor. So Dhritarashtra has understood now, after many years, right? He's finally understood that he has to accept this time factor. Yes, I cannot stay. Death is going to come. Let me prepare, right? And so he's doing that. In Bhagavad Gita 2.27, you know, for one who has taken birth, death is certain. Simple truth. But not so easy to accept, right?
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
We hear stories on the news of death. You know, we have people in our lives that we have lost and so forth. It's not easy, right? Understood. It's a simple fact, but it's not easy to accept. Now, if you're an Asura, you will avoid this truth, right? And do anything possible. But a devotee, we have to learn to embrace it. Another example is Gittin, in the sense that when a kitten, and I'm sure many of you have heard this, when a kitten is in the mouth of a cat, mother cat, right? It feels protected, it feels loved, right? Those teeth that are, you know, holding the kitten up, right? My mother is taking care of me, right? Those same teeth, though, of the cat is very frightening and painful for a rat, right? Because those same teeth are death personified for a rat. So a rat will avoid, you know, the cut of the teeth at all costs. He doesn't want to get captured by a cat, right? And stuff. But a devotee, he will embrace it, right? Because a devotee sees this time, this death, as a transformation in this material world. As Kṛṣṇa is coming, right? So when he sees time, he sees that Kṛṣṇa is coming, that Kṛṣṇa is coming to collect us, to take us back home. This is the mentality of a devotee, right? Kṛṣṇa is preparing us, you know, with this old age, birth, death, disease. Kṛṣṇa is preparing us as a sacrifice to take us back to his lotus feet, right? So accepting the truth and preparing for it, this is what spiritual life is about, right? Accepting these facts. So Prabhupada would often explain that, you know, people are taught, like in the schools, unfortunately, is all Asuric knowledge that is technically being taught in schools, right? How to enjoy more, how to accumulate more, how to, you know, ignore death, and the ego is being fed constantly, right? But unfortunately, you know, there is ability, space. These temples are like hospitals, right? There was a verse from Srila Prabhupada last Tuesday, or this past Tuesday, that these hospitals are these temples are hospitals, right? Where we can cure the strong medicine to cure us from this Kāla, right? From this passing of time, this aging and stuff. It prepares us. So there's a story also that comes in Bhagavatam, like Jad Bharat. These dacoits, right, were looking for a human sacrifice, and they were willing to, and he, you know, Jad Bharat, he was basically captured and taken for this sacrifice. And in him, he was only seeing Kṛṣṇa, right, and stuff. Let them do what they want to me. They prepared him very nicely. They bathed him, put scented oils and all these garments, right, to take them to the goddess Kāla to sacrifice, you know, this human sacrifice and stuff. But in some way, Kṛṣṇa is this form of time. And to his devotee, he's preparing us as an offering to himself, right? As we are getting this knowledge, as we're chanting, as we're doing all of these things, we are preparing ourselves for the ultimate sacrifice to go back home, back to Kṛṣṇa, right? Radhanath Maharaj, in one lecture, he gives like a nice example about a potato. Okay, so a potato, you know, we mash it, we chop it, we take a knife to it, right? We do so many things to this poor potato and stuff. You know, and the potato, right? Like if it understood what's happening to him, like it would not be in a comfortable situation, right? You're being fried in oil, you're being boiled in water, right? Like this poor potato, like, ah. But if the potato understands that at the end, he's being offered to Kṛṣṇa, right? His life becomes perfect, right? This potato just becomes perfect. So, but if the potato doesn't know, right? Like, that it's being offered to Kṛṣṇa in the end, it would become very much afraid, right? It doesn't want to be cut, it doesn't want to be mashed or boiled, right? And stuff. So similarly, but if we understand this, this is also very nice, you know. In life, we are going to get mashed and cut and boiled, and so many things are going to happen to us, right? You know, you might get insulted, you might get, you know, things might happen to you. You know, why is this happening to me? And stuff like that. But through time, all of these transformations in this material existence is going to happen, you know, by this direction of time. You know, it is just that time is working under the direction of Kṛṣṇa. If we understand this, that, you know, these insults, these people that come into our lives that may not give us positive energy, right? And they might boil us, mash us, in fact, try to fry us, right? But at the same time, you know, whether good or bad, this is Kṛṣṇa's preparation, right? So as a devotee, as we understand, as we go through life and all these good and bad things are happening, Kṛṣṇa is just preparing us to go through this. And we understand that this time factor is just an instrument, it's just energy of Kṛṣṇa, right? And although materialistic people might be afraid to get mashed, boiled, and fried and stuff, a devotee welcomes these preparations because it brings us closer to Kṛṣṇa, right? Hopefully that made sense. Next time you look at a potato and stuff. But so when we understand that in time, things are going to happen to us, right? But if we look at time as a whole, as Kṛṣṇa's energy, it is just preparing us for that ultimate sacrifice, right? So in this way, if we know all of this is happening, if we accept it, if we learn to understand this truth, right? Then we become free of this asuric mentality. And it's very simple, right? Because in Bhagavad Gita, Kṛṣṇa is telling us in chapter 7:14 that this divine energy of mine is difficult to overcome. We know it's hard to overcome. But those who surrender unto me can easily cross beyond it, right? So the solution, we have to learn to surrender to Kṛṣṇa, right? Whether we like it or not, because time is pushing us through, Kṛṣṇa is pushing us through, and eventually we have to surrender to something, right? So by hearing regularly, by chanting, by associating, coming to this hospital, this temple hospital, and so forth, especially chanting of the holy name in this particular yuga, this particular time, right? Hare Kṛṣṇa, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. This is what is going to purify our intelligence. This is going to let us absorb the truth in our mind and stuff. And this is what transforms us from this asuric to this divine, to this devotee mentality, from ignorance to knowledge, from fear of time to freedom of time. It is this chanting process that is going to help us, right? And using this time properly, right? We can do asuric type activities, or we can try to do some divine Kṛṣṇa conscious type activities, and so forth. So this is kind of what I wanted to talk about today. In general, as a summary, time is going to take everything from us. I'm currently moving out of one home, and it's incredible how much over time you can collect things.
Oh, of course.
And it's also incredible that as time goes on, you have to let go whether you like it or not.
Okay.
Right? And so moving itself has become a very huge lesson. But yes, time is going to take everything, at the end of the day. How much are you keeping? Because you're not going to keep it, whether you like it or not. This asuric mentality, it will blind us. We will want to enjoy forever. We will want to maintain this beauty forever. We will want to do so many things forever, but it doesn't last forever, whether you like it or not. The 100% death rate. And spiritual life, technically, it cannot be postponed. Whether you're 1-year-old or you're reaching your 80th birthday, congrats. But time is going to continue for everyone. And the spiritual life, if you continue to postpone it, when you're old and you're not able to understand, or hearing will go, eyes will go, all these things time is going to take everything, including all of that, right? If you wait till you're 80 years old, you may not be able to, even if you want to, because physically you won't be able to. So take to spiritual life as young as possible. In fact, we've seen Prahlad Maharaj, right? Like within the womb, he got Kṛṣṇa consciousness, right? So you're never too old or young, or don't even think about that. Take to it now, right? I don't care how old you are and stuff. For parents, bring your child to Kṛṣṇa consciousness. It is the greatest gift you can give to your child, right? We're actually starting parent-taught classes, because even children as young as 1 can start learning to love Kṛṣṇa. It is naturally within them. We just have to bring it out, right? So come to these classes, starting from the age of 1, right? Babies, and so forth. All the way to, we have Sunday feasts so wonderfully. Every week we have classes. Every day we have classes here, right? And stuff. So there's no reason why you can't start your spiritual life. Even if you're home and you can't come to the temple, just chant.
Yeah.
You can chant anywhere. There's no rules and regulations on how to chant, right? You just have to say the mantra over and over again. And that will remove this illusion. We have to understand that Kāla represents Krishna's force, right? That is what is coming out of this particular verse. And it's our choice. Kāla is there, time is there, but it's our choice whether we want to be illusioned or we want to wake up.
Right.
Wake up, sleeping soul, wake up, right? There's that beautiful bhajan. So let's take this instruction seriously. I know you all do. We're here often, every day, trying to get the mercy of the Lord. So, and every moment we use in Krishna's service, even whether it's shopping, whether it's, washing pots, or, taking darshan of the deities, these are all moments, right? These are all Krishna's using our time wisely. And then life can be successful. So, thank you very much. Grantaraj Shrimadbhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. If there's any questions or thoughts or comments.
So we were talking about the different analogies. My son has one. What's chaos for the fly is normal for the spider. What's chaos for the fly is normal for the spider. So if you think about it,
Yeah.
the flies, you were talking about the teeth, how the cat, the mice is so afraid of the grip of the mice, the cat's teeth.
Yeah.
And just think about how the fly feels when it's trapped in the web and the spiders come at it. Complete chaos.
Yeah.
But for the spider, it's his natural reaction. There's my food.
Yes.
Yeah. So it depends on which side of the fence you're on.
Yeah. No, definitely. And Yeah, to overcome a lot of this, we are actually trapped in the web, if you
Yeah.
think of it. Like, we are bound by 3 modes of material nature. We're bound by all this karma, our past karma, all this stuff comes into play and stuff. So, if you want to become liberated from all of that, you have to come to Krishna consciousness, right? God consciousness. Thank you, Prabhu. That's a nice analogy. Hare Krishna.
Very good.
Any other thoughts, questions, comments, conversations? Chat? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Master.
Grandhara Shrimadbhagavatam ki jai.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.